The film starts with Loa-K reliving a memory with his late brother Neytiri as they ride their icons across the sky. Loa-K continues to blame himself for Neytiri's death due to his actions in battle. Meanwhile, Kiri and Spider appear to be forming more than a friendly connection. Neytiri continues to grieve her son and immerses herself in old Gnostics traditions to cope, while Jake leads his kids to recover guns from sunken ships. The Metkayina are none too pleased at the thought of utilizing guns in the fight against the RDA, putting Jake in conflict with Tonawari and Ronald. Tonawari suggests that Jake take up his position as Torik Makto again, but Jake thinks riding the Torik will make him someone he doesn't want to be. The RDA continue to scour wreckages for whatever they can recover. Scoresby survived his attack and now uses a prosthetic arm. Ardmore has lost trust in Quaritch, who is still driven by his desire for revenge against Jake. Meanwhile, Ian starts to question his loyalty to the RDA. Loa-K, Kiri, and Spider join Syria, Aonung, and Ratso in swimming along Payakan, who is still considered an outcast among the other Tulkun for using violence. Later at night, the family wakes up in a panic as Spider's oxygen mask starts to run out, but he is given a replacement in time. The Metkayina are visited by the Wind Trader tribe. Jake breaks the news to Loa-K, Kiri, Tuck, and Spider that he and Neytiri have decided that Spider ought to be taken with the Wind Traders to live somewhere he might be able to breathe properly. The kids protest, with Spider tearfully asking Jake to reconsider, but Neytiri outright tells Spider that he will never be part of their family. Jake arranges with the Wind Trader leader Palak to allow the family to join them in escorting Spider to his new home, on the condition that Neytiri protect them from the skies. The Sullus ride with the Wind Traders in their airships, which come under attack by the Manquan tribe, a ruthless group of fire-based Gnostics led by their vicious leader Varang. A sky battle ensues, with the Manquan shooting several warriors out of the sky, but the Sullus fight back with their own firepower. Kiri gets Loa-K, Spider, and Tuck out on an Ikran, while Neytiri is knocked into the forest by Varang. The kids crash land in the forest as well. They witness Varang and other Manquan connecting their Kiritails to other Gnostics to overpower them, and then cut their Karus off. The kids are chased, but they manage to kill a few Manquan before escaping. As the kids continue to run, Spider's oxygen mask starts to run out until it is completely gone. Desperate, Kiri uses her Kuru to connect to the earth, which then covers Spider's body in mycelia after she orders Loa-K to put him there. After a while, Loa-K pulls Kiri out, and it seems as though Spider is dead. However, he begins to move and breathe, and he no longer needs a mask to breathe Gnostic's air. They are discovered by Varang and the Manquan, who also note Spider's new development before they capture the children. When Kiri says that Spider breathing is the will of Iwa, Varang snarls that Iwa has no dominion in their territory. Jake is caught by Quaritch and Wainfleet, but they form an uneasy alliance when they find the kids captured, and Quaritch realizes Spider is in danger. He reluctantly frees Jake, and they work together to fight the Manquan, but they are overpowered. Quaritch willingly shows Varang how guns work. Kiri connects herself to the earth again, causing the plant life to shoot toxic quills at the Manquan, giving everyone a chance to flee the villainous tribe. Neytiri wakes up in a medical tent with Emoat and worries for the children. Meanwhile, Jake and Quaritch hold off on killing each other until the kids get home safe. Jake tries to convince Quaritch to see the world through new eyes now that he is a Gnostics, but he knows he is not going to see people the way the Gnostics do. Quaritch returns with Wainfleet to the RDA base to meet with Ardmore and Parker, the latter who is still hoping to colonize Pandora and believes Spider's newfound breathing capabilities can help with that. Norm and Max conduct tests on Spider's anatomy. Norm shows Jake that Spider has grown his own Kuru in the back of his head. Kiri tries to connect to Iwo again, but she finds herself being shut out. When telling her family about it, Emoat tells Jake and Neytiri to reveal the truth of Kiri's parentage. She has no biological father and is instead a clone of Grace Augustine's avatar, not her daughter. Kiri is warned that if she tries to connect to Iwo again, she could kill herself. Jake privately talks to Neytiri, who suggests that they kill Spider or risk having the RDA figure out how to reverse engineer his breathing capabilities for their colonization efforts. Scoresby and his goons continue to hunt the Tulkun with harpoons and other water vehicles. The Sullus return to the Metkayina, where Tonawari tells Jake that the Tulkun Council are calling for a meeting regarding Payak and since he attacked a ship, while Ronald tends to Neytiri's wounds. The Tulkun matriarch orders Payakan to go into exile, which devastates Loa-K. When he and Syria try to protest for Payakan, Jake intervenes and argues with his son, almost explicitly blaming him for Neytiri's death for disobeying orders before Loa runs away in tears. Jake talks to Neytiri about this, as she is still driven by her hatred for humans. Loa-K comes close to committing suicide with a rifle until he is found by Kiri and Syria, who try to talk some sense back into him. The teens are gathered in the ocean. Kiri starts to show Spider how to use his Kuru to form a Q connection with the Pandoran wildlife, like the skim wings underwater. Quaritch and Wainfleet go looking for Spider by terrorizing other Gnostics. Quaritch then decides to go straight to the Manquan camp to speak to Varang. After having Wainfleet snipe one of the Manquan to prove he is not messing around, Varang brings Quaritch into her tent. She explains her people's history, how the fire ravaged their homes, and how they lost faith in Iwa when nothing helped them. The Manquan adapted to the fire, and Quaritch shows Varang how to use other weapons like a flamethrower. The two then begin a sexual relationship. Cyria tells Loake that Payakan's song was heard in nearby waters, which prompts him to leave home and look for him, but not without telling Neytiri first. He is joined by Cyria, Aonong, and Ratso to go search for the young Tulkun. Tanawari informs Jake that their children have gone. Spider and Kiri are in the woods, where they share their first kiss. Moments later, Quaritch leads the Manquan to capture Spider, after Varang subdues him with her Q connection. The RDA and Manquan start heading toward the Metkayina village. When Quaritch and Varang emerge, Jake willingly surrenders himself to prevent them from harming the other Gnostics. Quaritch brings Jake and Spider back to base, and everyone greets Quaritch and Varang as heroes. Loak and the other teens are riding their skim wings to find Payakan, but they are attacked by squid-like creatures. Loak is cornered underwater and nearly drowns until the other Tulkun devour the squids, and Cyria and the other boys pull Loak out and resuscitate him. Later that night, Loak reunites with Payakan, who tells him that he found the last surviving member of his family, another Tulkun named Tanak who was attacked and blinded by Scoresby's harpoons. The bastard himself is planning to attack a school of Tulkun, which Ian openly protests. At the RDA base, Quaritch tries to calm an angry Spider before going to taunt Jake, who is in a glass cage for everyone to see. Jake once again tries to get Quaritch to open his mind, but he refuses. Spider escapes his cell and disguises himself to blend in with the crowd, while Neytiri hunts her way to the base after killing some Manquan. She catches Varang sleeping and forces her to give up Jake's location before Neytiri cuts off her Kuru. A fight breaks out and Neytiri runs, setting off a panic after she blows up a tanker. Ian seizes the opportunity to use a giant bulldozer to break Jake's cage and free him. Spider catches up to Jake and protects him, knowing the RDA will not shoot him since they need Spider alive. Jake and Spider join Neytiri as they fly to their escape. When the three find a quiet place in the forest to land, Jake reconsiders Neytiri's suggestion about killing Spider to get the RDA off their backs, which she has started to have second thoughts on herself. Jake brings Spider somewhere quiet, preparing to execute him even as Spider begs him not to. Jake ultimately cannot bring himself to do it and embraces the boy. Neytiri runs toward them and tells Spider that she finally sees him. The Metkayina continue to refuse to engage in violence against the RDA until Loak brings Payakan and Tanak to them to show what the humans have done. Even as Payakan is still considered an outcast, Loak and his friends and their Tulkun all decide that they are outcasts as well. Jake then decides he must be Torik Makdo again and goes to a cave to get Torik out so they may fly again in battle, as he warns the clans that a battle with the Sky People is inevitable. The RDA prepare to go off into battle, with Ardmore trying to ground Quaritch for going against her orders, but he is determined to get Spider back. The battle begins as the Tulkun attack the Whalers in retaliation. The Gnostics fight back against the humans and take out a good number of them before the Manquan swoop in to fight as well. Kiri dives underwater to reconnect with Iwa to try and help. When she is nearly overpowered, she is joined by Spider and Tuck connecting their cues to Iwa as well. Just when it looks like they finally see Iwa's face, a blast goes off underwater, severing Kiri's connection. Meanwhile, other Gnostics like Ratso are fatally wounded, and Ronald takes a deadly hit as well. She gives birth to a daughter, Prill, and tells Neytiri to look after her before she dies. Kiri is soon enveloped in a flash of light underwater, accompanied by other sea creatures. Now tapped into her connection with Iwa, Kiri commands the sea creatures to go after the humans. They destroy their ships, and Scoresby becomes a snack for one of them. Varang attempts to kill Neytiri, but Kiri catches up to her first and overpowers Varang by connecting to her Q and ordering her to flee, which she does. A magnetic flux opens up in the ocean, pulling the RDA's head ship towards the vortex. Everyone abandons ship, but Ardmore goes up in flames with it. Quaritch makes another attempt on Jake after holding his kids hostage and ordering him to come with Spider. The boy willingly tries to give himself up, but Jake and Quaritch get pulled toward the flux and start fighting. Spider shoots Quaritch in the arm, but before he can deliver the killing strike, they are knocked over a ledge. Quaritch holds onto Spider, and Jake pulls them both up. When the rest of Jake's family arrives, Quaritch realizes he is outnumbered and jumps off the edge and into the flames below. Lo AK narrates what happened afterwards. The other Gnostics begin to connect to Iwa as well. Payakan is finally accepted by his clan. Kiri brings Spider to the Tree of Souls, where he meets all the deceased Gnostics, along with Grace herself. The Gnostics now see Spider and all accept him as one of their own.